Today, we're going to show you how to make spinach-filled turkey loaf without the gobble. So stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us today on Food for Thought. My name is Trishonna, and these are my sisters, Audrey and Emberly, and we're the Benton Sisters. Nutrition is our topic for today. It's the #1 law for optimum physical health. Nutrition brings into focus the close relationship which exists between food and health of our minds and bodies. Degenerative diseases brought on by nutritional deficiency have become the main cause of premature death over the past few centuries because of the advancement of refined, devitalized foods. Cancer cells develop at some time or another in most of our bodies. A strong immune system can destroy cancer cells without us even being aware of it. We want to prevent toxins from entering our system and to destroy any carcinogenic cells that may form. This is accomplished through eating quality nutrition and by eating the foods that build and detoxify our bodies. Feeding Frenzy, an article written in Newsweek magazine states, "It is a well-documented fact that when other countries begin to adopt the typical American diet, the health of those nations suffer. When they eat animal fat and dairy products, their rate of disease skyrockets." And here's some encouraging words I found in the Modesto Bee newspaper, which say, quote, "New evidence, broccoli fights cancer. Broccoli is good. Likewise, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and other crunchy members of the cruciferous family of vegetables. Growing evidence that eating fruits and vegetables may help prevent degenerative disorders like cancer and heart disease," end of quote. Isn't that encouraging? And are you getting adequate fiber in your diet? Well, if you aren't, Diet for New America tells us that without fiber, waste backs up, and the length of the time your food takes to pass through the colon is greatly increased. This is particularly true if your diet contains animal fat, because animal fat is solid at body temperature. They clog up your intestines just as grease clogs up the drain. The longer transit time produced by a low-fiber diet provides more opportunity for the bowel walls to reabsorb the toxins they are trying to eliminate. So no wonder why we have so much colon cancer. And so we want to have live food in our diet. We want to have plenty of vegetables, and so we can have those cancer-fighting agents in our food that we eat.
As you see here, we have lots of yummy live food. And you want to start off each meal with live food. And we even like to put edible flowers. Edible flowers are really good. My favorite is snapdragons. They have a delicious flavor. Live food for live people. Yes.
And you know, in cancer prevention, we are recommended to have 8 to 12 different vegetables in our salad every day. So this means much more than just iceberg lettuce and a few carrots sprinkled here and there. Yeah. Make sure you have a wonderful big green salad in your meal at least once a day.
With a big variety, it makes it a lot more enjoyable too.
That's right. Okay, I heard something about you saying you're going to show us how to make spinach-filled turkey loaf without the gobble. Did I hear that right?
Fun, huh?
Okay, well, let's get in it.
Okay, we'll move this. First, we have 6 cups of boiling water, 1 cup of bulgur wheat, 1 cup of couscous, 4 veggie cubes, 1 can of garbanzo beans blended, 2 cups of walnuts ground, 1 cup of potato flakes, 1 cup of onions minced, half of a cup of carrot finely grated, 4 tablespoons of McKay's chicken seasoning, 1 teaspoon of parsley, 1 teaspoon of garlic and Italian seasoning, and 1 teaspoon of veggie salt. And you'll also need 1 teaspoon of basil and 1/3 of a cup of gluten flour. And then for the filling, 1/2 of a cup of spinach chopped, cooked, and drained, 1/4 of a cup of our ranch dressing from the cookbook.
And all this goes in the spinach-filled turkey loaf.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the first thing that you do?
Okay, we're going to add our onions and our carrot to the blender.
Oh, so you're going to chop them in the blender?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And yeah, just break it up. And then I have 6 cups of pre-measured water here. And I'm just going to use a little bit, just enough to blend.
We got garlic in there and onion.
Garlic, onion, and a carrot.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, that should be long enough. I want to make sure it's chopped good. We'll turn this on. And then we'll need veggie cubes. And Audrey, would you like to get the veggie cubes?
Sure. And would you like to show them how they look like? These are our seasonings. How many do we need?
We need 4 cubes.
And if you have a hard time finding your ingredients in your town, you might want to call and ask about the starter kit on the information sheet that they talk about at the end of the program.
Okay.
Okay, I added a can of garbanzos, and I'm just going to add a little bit more water and blend those up. And you can also add soaked garbanzos. You just soak them overnight. And
Oh, instead of having cooked garbanzos? Oh, great.
just add a cup of soaked garbanzos.
You know, there's so many nutrients in garlic. Did you know that garlic is a natural antibiotic?
Really?
Yes, and it actually helps to prevent strokes and a heart attack.
I didn't know that.
So you want to make sure you have garlic in your diet because it's really good for your body.
And then we want chopped nuts for this. And so I'll chop some nuts here.
These are walnuts.
Uh-huh.
Let me help you here.
Yeah. And we'll add a little bit more water.
Man, this looks easy.
And walnuts help to cut the cholesterol level, the bad cholesterol in your bloodstream too.
Oh, that's good to know, isn't it?
So we've got some good nutrients in this.
We'll blend this. So we have our chopped nuts. You don't want to blend it until it's smooth. You just want them to be chopped.
I'll come over here and stir this.
That sounds like a good idea.
Won't stick on or anything.
And then you got all the veggie cubes in there, right?
4 of them.
So you have carrots and walnuts, garlic and onion, and seasonings on the stove to cook, right?
And I'll add the rest of the water. I guess I didn't use it all up.
You know, there's lots of nutrients in the carrots too, high in beta carotene, and you don't have to worry about overdosing on beta carotene when you eat it in the natural state of carrots. Isn't that good to know? In fact, carrot juice has all the nutrients you need for a blood transfusion, nutrients-wise, and so carrots are really good for you. And our favorite drink when you have fresh carrot juice is adding a beet to it because beets are a blood detoxifier. So you might want to think of that too.
Okay, I'm going to add this is bulgur wheat. See what it looks like? And then couscous.
And couscous is like a pasta.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a really nice texture in your turkey loaf, doesn't it?
Yes, and you want to make sure you get bulgur wheat that's, people get it mixed up between cracked wheat and bulgur wheat. It's, the key is white peel-off bulgur wheat. That's what you want. You don't want cracked wheat.
So when I go to the store or the health food store, look for white peel-off bulgur wheat.
Mhm.
Okay.
And here's McKay's chicken seasoning. And Veggie-Sol. Veggie-Sol, a little stuck here. That'll help. Veggie-Sol is like a vegetable salt.
Great.
So.
And then what else do you have?
Then we have, to thicken it up, we have gluten flour and potato flour. And you want to be careful when you sprinkle this in. You don't want to get it all in one spot.
Because it makes it lumpy?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll let you stir that.
Okay.
And so how long do you let this cook on the stove?
Until it's thick. And just keep on stirring it. It'll get thick.
It's smelling good already.
I'll let you stir that in.
Now I noticed that it said stuffed or spinach-filled turkey loaf.
We're
Now,
going to put the spinach in it.
right now, or how do you do that?
We'll let this thicken up, and while this is thicken up, I was thinking that vegetables would be excellent to go with this meal.
Okay.
And so let's show them how to make a savory glaze for that. And I'll add the rest of the flour here, gluten flour. You can stir that in. Okay, let's make the glaze. First, you'll need a cup of water. Want to give us a cup of water?
Sure.
And we'll add the cornstarch. I'll let you go ahead and pour that in. And we're going to use Bragg's. If you're not familiar with what Bragg's looks like, this is what it looks like here. She's adding 1 cup of water, and I'll add 1/4 of a cup of Bragg's. And you can add the cornstarch, which is a tablespoon,
Okay.
and basil. We'll add basil later. We don't want to blend the basil up.
I see why you did that, because you wanted the cornstarch mixed in with your ingredients without having to stir it and making it lumpy. Okay.
And then we'll thicken it up
good.
on the stove.
And now is when you add the basil?
Yeah, I'll sprinkle in the basil. Let's see.
What do we do next?
Okay. I think it would be excellent to have mashed potatoes to go with this recipe.
I agree. Let's get started. Here, I'll get the food processor.
Thank you. And I'll have the potatoes in the water. And the blade we want to use is the French fry blade. And we'll just send them through. And we have some pre-cooked boiled potatoes. You want to get that? And I'll just show you what it looks like. Isn't that an easy way to do potatoes? You don't have to chop them by hand, and you can just put them in your kettle.
And so here we have some already cooked. I think we still need the food processor so we can mix them.
And we'll just dump in the potatoes.
Okay.
Looks like your savory glaze is done, Audrey. This looks good.
Okay, now we just want to mash these.
Okay.
Wipe the edges a little so it goes down.
And we can put in some butter flavoring and then just salt it to taste a little bit.
Wow, that's a really fast way to do mashed potatoes, and it's better for you than using dried potato mix, like potato beds or something. Wow, those potatoes sure look good. How is the turkey loaf coming along, Emberly?
Coming along real good.
Here, can you help me with this?
So now what are we going to do?
We're just going to put the half of this on the bottom, and then we're going to put that spinach and the ranch dressing. You want to mix those two together?
Okay, here we have frozen spinach from the freezer department at the grocery store, right? And make sure you get the spinach that's already chopped. Chopped, yes, chopped. We'll put that in the bowl here.
You want it to be thawed and drained first.
Right.
Squeeze out
and
all the water.
This is the ranch dressing from our cookbook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll mix that together. And this is the filling for the turkey loaf. And you don't have to worry about counting calories with this recipe. You want to just mix this together?
And then what you do is you just make a little trench in your filling here, so you can put the spinach in the middle.
Okay.
And then we'll put spinach in the middle, and then we'll put some more of the filling on the top. That
Now,
looks good.
That ranch dressing only has tofu and some seasonings and such in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. You don't have to worry about fat and cholesterol or dairy products. So it's a really nice alternative. And it makes this recipe just delicious.
That looks good, huh? And then when you cut it, you'll be able to see spinach in the center.
Oh, wow.
I think the savory glaze is coming along pretty good. Audrey, would you like to pour that over the vegetables?
Sure.
I'll put some more in here.
Okay.
Let's see.
Now, these vegetables, you can use any vegetables you like. Fresh vegetables, frozen vegetables, whatever you prefer.
And Emberly, are you going to put the rest of the turkey loaf over your
And I'll just
spinach there?
cover the top.
Now,
And then,
we have one of these already made for them, right?
so
Wanna
that
go get it?
bakes
It's
in
in
the
the
oven
back.
for how long?
Probably on 350 for about 50 minutes, I would say.
350 for about 50 minutes? All right.
You want to make sure, the trick is to make sure you sprayed your pan really good. Our pan was already pre-sprayed. Make sure you spray it really good so it'll slide out and it won't stick.
And here we have one already pre-cooked up, right here.
Right.
We're going to put this together for you. Make a fancy, this is a fancy centerpiece for like holiday season.
That's how we do this?
And then just tip it upside down. You got it.
Okay.
That's an easy way to get it out
You want to let it cool first.
before you invert it like that.
And then you just take your vegetables and you put them around the edges.
Why don't you,
And we'll put the mashed potatoes in the center.
looks like you need a spoon.
This looks so pretty. This is an excellent centerpiece.
So you have a savory glaze over your vegetables, and those vegetables you just got at the
Grocery store.
in the freezer department, already frozen. And so did you steam the vegetables first?
You
and
just, you want to steam them.
then add the savory glaze? That makes them really look nice. I bet this is a wonderful centerpiece for Thanksgiving instead
Yes, beautiful.
of turkey without the gobble.
Put a little bit more in there, and then we'll put the butter.
Here's the butter to go on that.
We'll just let some butter melt on the top. We should show them how to make the butter.
Yeah,
do
I think
that.
we should. We have enough time.
And then when you want to sprinkle that on too, Audrey?
Okay.
What's that?
This is
Paprika and parsley, just to make it look pretty.
so get on
I think that would be a gorgeous Thanksgiving centerpiece, don't you?
I sure do. Great.
beautiful.
So, are we going to make the butter now?
Yes, let's go ahead and make the
have
butter.
time.
Okay.
Move this over. Okay, we just need a blender, right? Blender. The Bosch, okay. And this calls for cashews. Now you want to make sure your cashews are washed really good. Washed in a strainer just like you would for doing beans or something like that. And then it calls for coconut milk. Let's just add it in the blender right here. Okay, cashews.
Of all the nuts, cashews are the lowest in fat. They're really good for you and an excellent replacer for dairy products.
Okay, and this is our coconut milk. Now, people think coconut milk isn't that bad.
But coconut milk, even though it has a little bit of saturated fat, doesn't contain any cholesterol. Cholesterol only comes from animal products, so you don't have to worry about coconut being bad for you if you don't have any animal products in your diet. Because
Oh, go ahead.
we do need a little bit of the natural essential fatty acids in our system for optimum physical health.
Yeah. So Audrey, how much are you adding there? That's a half of a cup of.
This is like a teaspoon of salt. We're
Okay.
putting here now. And it calls for butter flavoring. And this butter flavoring, what happened to our butter flavoring?
Wait, I think it went back in our starter kit.
Okay, this butter flavoring is no alcohol in there. And it's natural. We'll just put a little bit in there. You want to put like a half teaspoon.
So you want half of a cup of cashews washed, right? And a third of a cup of coconut milk, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt.
This butter flavoring is Bickford Butter Flavoring. They have a wonderful, actually this one's the Spice Shop. Also Bickford Butter Flavoring is a really good brand for different flavorings because they don't have any alcohol or any other additives put into the flavorings. It's just the pure ingredients, so it's really a nice flavoring. You might want to check with your health food store. Also, the information for the flavoring is in the beginning part of our cookbook if you're curious to know.
And this calls for cornmeal mush. Now, Emberly, you working on the cornmeal mush over here?
Okay, I have in this little kettle, I have 1 cup of water
Okay.
and a third of a cup of cornmeal.
Okay, and then
I'm
It yields
thickening
to
it up.
a cup of mush, then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we found out that the kind of cornmeal you want to use is Alber's cornmeal. We found out that there's some cornmeals that will thicken up good and some kind won't. And so you want the kind of cornmeal that will thicken up really good. Because when you add your cornmeal that's cooked to your blender and blend up all your ingredients, and then you put it in the refrigerator and let it cool, you want the whole mixture to set up hard enough to spread. So you want your cornmeal that will thicken up nicely.
Well, that's cooking up. I have something really amazing to share from the Vegetarian Times. It says, quoting, researchers tested the ability of the white blood cell to fight cancer in both vegetarians and non-vegetarians. What an interesting study. Well, the results, the vegetarian's white blood cell had more than double the ability to destroy cancer cells than non-vegetarians. Isn't that good to know? That by going vegetarian, you have more cancer-fighting agents in your systems and are more able to destroy cancer cells than on any other diet, and probably even more if you go onto a vegan diet, because they are on highest in vegetables and fruits and the lowest in fat, and no animal products in your diet. And that's why I'm really excited about this butter, because that way you can still have butter on your toast in the morning for breakfast without adding all that saturated fat and cholesterol to your body.
Well, this is ready to put in the blender. This is all nice and thick. And then you want to blend this for a long time, for about a minute, until it's really smooth. We won't take that whole time blending it for you now.
Now, if you're doing this at home, would you want your cornmeal probably more thick than that?
Probably just a little bit thicker.
Okay.
You want to make sure you use your cornmeal. You want it to be hot. You don't want it to be cold.
Okay.
So make sure it's hot.
All right. Here we go. Well, we don't want to take this whole time to blend this. It'll take probably about a minute to blend it, minute to minute and a half. Okay.
And then we like to put it in your favorite butter container, just like anyone that you like.
My favorite is I can't believe it's not butter.
And then you put it in your favorite butter container, and you put it on the table, and don't say anything, and they won't believe it's not butter.
Well, since we have some time left over, I think I'll get our starter kit.
All right, if you're having a hard time finding these ingredients in your town, we have provided you this wonderful starter kit by popular demand.
There's over 20 things in this starter kit.
Wow.
It's over 20 pounds.
Wow.
Has all kinds of different hard ingredients to find. And there's walnuts, sucanat, case chicken seasoning.
Even a great baking powder right here. Let me look at this. This is Energy Foods baking powder, which is moisture activated, and it doesn't contain any aluminum in the baking powder. We thought that was the only thing that you need to worry about when it came to baking powder, but we also discovered that other baking powders that are supposed to be aluminum free also leave harmful salt residues in the lining of your stomach, which this one doesn't. So this is a nice baking powder to use.
And there's over 2 pounds of cashews in here.
That's
A
nice.
lot of
can make
great ingredients.
Looks like bulgur wheat and couscous here, and sesame seeds and carob chips.
Eames kosher gel.
And that's for making the cheese and different jellos, right?
Right,
Wow, thank you, Audrey.
I'll take it back.
Eating an abundance of the protective foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds aid in achieving optimum physical health. They impart a strength of endurance and a vigor of intellect that you can't receive from any other diet. How encouraging it is to know that the degenerative diseases need not destroy us inch by inch when we improve our immune system and build it up by eating these natural foods. Look at that entree. Isn't that a beautiful centerpiece for Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Or any other time of the year for that matter.
And you could even have a mushroom gravy to go over this, which would be delicious. Guaranteed, no lumps.
And that's in our cookbook, right?
Uh-huh.
And you have, for dessert, you can have,
Pumpkin pie.
there you go, pumpkin pie.
And also we have a wonderful cranberry jello.
And all these recipes we've mentioned, we'll be making for you on another program.
And they're in our cookbook, right?
And we're just thankful for the recipes that we have because we converted our old favorite foods to the healthy way. We always pray and ask God to help us before we create, and He always answers our prayers and helps us make them so they're beautiful and delicious too. So hope you enjoy cooking healthily as well.
Isn't that lovely? Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you've enjoyed the recipes and cooking tips in this program, you'll want to order our Food for Thought resource sheet. We'll tell you how you can order the cookbooks you've seen used on this program, along with other information that will help you cook healthful, attractive vegetarian meals. For your free copy of our Food for Thought resource sheet, please write to us at Food for Thought, P.O. Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896, or call 618-627-4651.
Understanding what foods are best for building the body and obtaining optimum physical health and improving the intellect is foremost in the natural laws of health. The creator and the designer of our bodies has given us the perfect food. By eating the food that He has provided in the original diet, we place ourselves under His protective care.
Jesus, take control of my life, and then I will be just what you want me to be.
Jesus, I give you my will. I'm willing to be just what you want me to be.
Jesus, fill my thoughts with your love, so then they will be full of your sweet melody.
Lord, you know I'm ready to go anywhere that there is a need. Lord, you know I'm ready to go anywhere that you want to lead. Anywhere that you want to lead. Ooh.
It's time to close with our food for thought for today. The soul that responds to the grace of God shall be like a well-watered garden. His health shall spring forth speedily. His light shall rise in obscurity, and the glory of the Lord shall be seen upon him. Do you want your health to spring forth speedily? Well, the Lord is providing you abundant life. He wants us to eat the foods that He has provided so that our health can spring forth speedily.
Cooking this way can be a great adventure. Your imagination is your only limitation.
And if we can do it, you can do it. All you have to do is pray and ask God to guide you, help you revamp your kitchen. That's what we had to do. And God will guide you and lead you.
And the next time we are together, we'll be discussing exercise. See you again next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.